Looking for the best aftermarket parts and accessories for your model? Look no further than MCV Products. Bring your models to life at mcvproducts.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Matt's Models and More. Good to see everyone. This is a follow-up to the first video I put out about how to mock up your model car. I had a lot of questions in that video, so I'm going to try to answer a lot of them. A lot of people wanted to know how I get to the point of picking out these wheels, because I showed in that video I had probably 7 or 8 different wheels that I had chose that I thought went with the theme of this 73 Mercury Cougar. And that's a difficult one to answer, and the reason why I say is it kind of goes with an artistic or a taste type of situation. You know, if when you're doing a mock-up and you put up several different wheels, if you don't like the way it looks, you don't like the way it looks. It's really a preference thing. So that's one that's a hard question to answer. Like, for instance, if you look at the hubcaps on that car, it's not attractive. It's not attractive at all. The bumper is not attractive, which I'm going to show you what I did to fix that. It sticks out way too far. The grill sticks out way too far. So as far as the wheels, I was going to do individual pictures and show you what the car looked like with each set of wheels I had. The problem with that is I'm going to get a lot of comments saying, I like that one, or I like that one, or I like that one. I understand, but it's all about you as the artist, what you choose to put on your car and what you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a rendering that I use to, I know the direction I'm going with this car. So I did a rendering so I know what to go off of and what to do. So I'm going to put it up right here. Now take a look at that. Look at the stance. Look at the wheels. Look how I'm painting the wheels. They're going to be black with the with a silver outline around certain points of the wheels. Look at the bumper. The bumper is completely changed compared to the stock vehicle. The color, that's the color I'm going with. The front splitter, the bottom air dam splitter, it does come with one. I'm going to modify that to look something like the picture that's showing here. So that gives me an idea of where I'm going to go with the rest of the mock-up. So what I've done is, since the last video, I've got the big thing. Let's start with the elephant in the room, which is this hideous bumper. Now, when I saw this model on the shelf, I saw something different. That's another point to the mock-up, is you have to see in your head what you're going to do with that car, and I saw it. I saw something different. Most people look at that car and go, ooh, that is a ugly car. Well, as you saw in that rendering I did, that's a good-looking car once you put your spin on it. So that's the important thing. So after I do the wheels mock-up and get the stance where I want it, usually by using something to set it up like that and putting the wheels under it, and, you know, just making sure it's, you know, where I want it to be, and, you know, then I go from there and I start going, okay, well, what do I want for my engine? Well, it's a Mercury. I know I want to put a Ford power plant in it. So I chose this. It's a small block Ford. It's got the EFI tall ram intake manifold. So I had to do some modifications to the transmission. I had to make that a little bit shorter, and I had to do some serious modifications to the engine bay. So what I did, pretty much took everything off the firewall. It comes with a lot of stuff on the firewall. I shaved that all down. Also cut out the existing panels that were in there to hold the suspension. So I cut all of that out. I had to make my own, which I did discuss in the first video. I had to make my own subframe to hold the engine once I knew what engine I was going to do. So to put that in there, you see you've got a flat spot there for your, this kit actually comes with 2 different oil pans. There's the second one in there. That one has more of a rounded end. I wanted the race style, so I took the square one because it also makes it easier to, you know, make a subframe in it for it to lie flat. So what I have to do is I got to set the engine in there, figure out how high I want it, and then determine how deep this needs to go. And I do that just by using, again, stuff to set it up so I know where it needs to be and holding it in place and taping it in place. So what I do now is once I get it in there, I have to go, okay, well, if I have my engine sitting in there like this, how far back do I need to, and this needs to come off, it's crooked, I need to do some more work to that, but I had to modify that to get that to sit right under here. And I also had to cut out a lot of the tunnel there that goes in through to where the firewall is, just so this sits nicely up against, let me put it down on the ground here, just so it sits nicely up against that firewall and level. I also have enough room for my headers, so I've tested all that out. That's something you got to do, is test to make sure you got room for your headers. I got enough room to clear the hood. It's not going to sit because I got this tape on here, but it's not going to interfere with the hood at all. Matter of fact, if we do a side view here, if that was level, yeah, see, it's I got plenty of room there. And I have enough room to, because this car has, I've already got the radiator in, and I'm going to take some solder wire, or it's a thick gauge wire. It's a 30 millimeter or 3 millimeter solder wire, and I'm going to bring that out and make it fit 2 different filters that come with this kit. It doesn't show it on the picture from MCV products, but it does come with 2 splitters, piping that has 2 filters on them, but the filters were too big, so I've got from MCV, he also makes his own, and I've got it right there. You can see that, and I'm going to put those on there. Excuse me. So that'll look good. So it takes a lot of trial and error. I had to put styrene in there, shave all that off, so I could get a nice clean look in the engine bay. So those are all smooth cut out, and I just laid them right over the existing ones, as you can see. Because on this side, there was a big square cut out for the battery. Well, in this car, you're not going to see the battery in the engine bay because it would have been relocated to the trunk, which I'm not opening the trunk. So the other thing I did is on this kit, it has holes here for hood pins that were on the hood, and I have shaved those off, and I've also filled those in. And I can already see once I prime this, there's going to be little areas I'm going to have to fix, especially on this front bumper, which we're about to talk about. Now, this front bumper, because it's such a controversial look on this car, that's the reason why I wanted this box in here, because it's just going to show you the difference, how different a car can look with some slight modifications. Now, this is what I did. This piece right here comes in the kit together. It's that right there, but this part here sticks out way further. Let me go ahead and put it flat so we can get a better look. That part there, the bottom sticks out way further, so I cut it. I cut it completely off, right down the middle, just right here, nice and clean, and then sanded it because I wanted this to be basically welded into the car, or body, I should say. So it's one piece. So that's what kind of gives it that sportier look, instead of having this big old honking thing sticking out. It's now, I trimmed it to where it's the same. If you look down the side of the car, it's now the same width. Before, it was sticking out a lot, which made it look like wings on the front of the car, which was just horrendous. Not sure what the designers were thinking there. But again, I'll pop up this picture because you'll see the whole front end is going to be body color, except for the headlight buckets and the chrome ring around the actual headlights themselves. I'm going to make slithers of LED lights on the corners of those on each bumper instead of using the big lights. They're just going to be slithers of LEDs, as you can see in this picture as well. So that was a huge undertaking, but it's going to make a huge difference in the way the overall car looks. Just this alone, even before I do anything, let me get this back in here, right? I mean, that already looks 1,000% better. Just cutting all of that off. And it's hard to, so many people are like, how do you know to do that? It's very difficult to explain. You just have to be creative, one. Two, take a chance. This was a $25 kit. I got it from Midnight Hobbies. Jamie Bowen, I got it. You just have to take a chance and say, I'm going to go for it. Go for it. Be artistic. Have fun with it. You can't mess anything up. I've said that in a video before, because even if you do break something or you don't like the way it looks, you can change it. You can change it, because at one point in this bumper, I did have this sitting out a little bit more, and I had them glued together. The more I looked at it, the more I was like, I want it more flat. So I went ahead and took it all the way off to where it matched the actual bumper itself, or the grill, the bumper, everything is just going to match right up. So that to me was a better look. I even had a different engine in here at one point, and I changed it because I didn't like the way it was looking. Some of the engines in scale, I don't know what's going on with scale with models lately, and maybe you've noticed it if you use a lot of 3D parts, but I've noticed that one company you get them from, for instance, this is Jay's resin wheels, that he says these are 22s, but if you set them next to another set of 22s from Z4s or MCV products, or even Texas 3D, they're not the same size. And I know you can change, wheel diameter based on your tire selection, but all of them have low profile tires, but one 22 can be a lot larger than the other 22. So another thing I did while we're discussing is, if you look at this wheel, this is a really good looking design wheel. I'm going to pop up a picture here, and this is how I got the idea for the wheels for the original picture you saw. So here's the before. Here is what it will look like. It's going to be black. I'm going to do a satin black rim itself, and then all the trim around each, part of the wheel that's got a high enough ridge is going to be painted in either chrome or like a stainless steel look, or even aluminum. It's going to have that silverish look, as you can see in this picture here. So again, using ChatGPT to give me an idea. ChatGPT is not telling me how to do the car. I'm telling it how I want the car to look. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. A lot of people go, "Oh, you're cheating." No, I'm typing in there, I want the car to be Luscious Orange by Tropical Glitz. I want it to have a very low stance. I want these wheels, and I take a picture of these wheels and put it in that. You can add the picture to it. I tell it I want a black vinyl top. I tell it I want it a lower air dam. I take the picture of this actual car and put it in there so it knows it doesn't have that giant bumper on it. So I do all the things. I create it. I just want to see if it's going to look right before I go any further. So that's a huge part there. I did want to show you too, I'm working on another fun little project. This is a van that I 3D printed. Well, actually the wife did. She's becoming a little master. I got Jay's Model Car Garage. He's got these Yeti coolers, which are awesome. And Jamie, I got this from Jamie at Midnight Hobbies, which he doesn't sell it on Midnight Hobbies, but he had them and he sent it to me with one of the kits I purchased from them, which I thought is cool. So this is going on this is a 1983 GMC van. I am doing a rust bucket project. So what I did is, before I even primed it, I went around and beat it up. I mean, I put holes in it, rust holes at the bottom, around the edges there. Burned it in some places on purpose. Tore up the front end, put some dents in it. And the reason why I did that is because I was going to prime it in, I knew I was going to prime it in this rust color. Then I'm going to go back, and I'll probably do a separate video on this. I'm going to go back and mix this in with some browns and bright oranges. And I wanted to do that before I painted it. This side is the really good side. This side had a wreck on this side. So somebody scraped up against it. This is the story behind this is a New York car, and they're moving to Arizona. So it's going to be packed and loaded for the trip. I even broke off some pieces of my luggage rack to make it look authentic. This is going to Arizona. I even made a spare tire rack. It will go back here on the side without the door handle. So that will go about right there. There's the GMC grill. I beat that up as well. But the story is he's moving from New York to Arizona to escape the rust. So I'm actually going to airbrush right here, probably in a motion like this, Arizona or rust is what it's going to say. So, and it's going to be painted. I'm using Gallery. Gallery is awesome with this Kaleido acrylic paint. It's going to have probably the lighter gray down the middle and probably this darker blue everywhere else. And then of course I'll continue the rust movement on this thing. So this one's going to be fun, and it's going to be slammed. It's going to be on bags. The only nice thing on this van is going to be the wheels. So he's trying to hurry up and get to Arizona before the thing rusts away on his brand new set of wheels. So I'll keep you up to date on this project, and I'll probably do a weathering tutorial, because I'm learning on that as I go. That's something new I've done. And to show you the wheels on this thing, look at these. These things are awesome. These things are ginormous too. And to give you an idea of what this van's going to look like with them, let me set it up a little bit. It's going to be low, 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 low. I mean, I can't even get you a good angle of it because it's going to be so low. But he's going to be sitting mean, which I try to do that with all my cars. So this was a quick one. I tried to answer all the questions on the mock-up process. It's kind of hard because a lot of it, like I said, it has to do with your artistic ability, your creative way of thinking, knowing if it's going to look right or wrong. Again, I urge you to use ChatGPT just for the mock-ups. I mean, it's not going to take over your house or your brain, or gosh, stop being so worried about that stuff, guys. It's just a tool to use to let you see which direction you want to go, because that picture didn't just come off the top. I saw the original one of the way I did it, and I was like, ugh. Matter of fact, I'll post it right here. This is the original. You can see the bumper still sticking out, had different wheels on it. It looked okay, but it still wasn't the direction I wanted. So I had to redo it. I had to tell it to change this, tell it to change that. Took an actual picture of my model and sent it to it. So it's okay to use it, I promise. So let's see if there's anything else on here. Use tape a lot for your mock-ups. That helps. Or like I said in that first video, you can use Funtac or anything like that. I did have to, as I said in that first video, I did have to come in here and widen the wheel wells for the back, which I still have to set up my suspension. I haven't done that yet, but I know exactly where I want my wheels to be. Same thing with the front. I got to do the same thing with the front. And I've already started on the interior as well. I know what I want that to look like. You can I don't know if you can see in there, I put a shifter in there. That's from MCV Products. It's a, it's got holes in it. I don't know if you can see that there. I'll freeze it. You can barely see it's also got the knuckle grip. So it's got the grips around it with the holes in there, kind of like brass knuckles. That will have carpet in there. I did put, if you can see on the other side, if I can get some light, I did put some roll-up cranks in there for the windows. That's from MCV Products as well. And I've got the seats primed and ready. Or not primed, but I went through them and cleaned them up, sanded all the excess stuff, and I've got seat belts for that to put in there. My wife was nice enough to print me some dice, so I'm gonna actually make some fuzzy dice, and I'm thinking I think I'm just gonna paint those. I was gonna flock them, and I don't think the flock will work because the flock's gonna get inside of those. So I think I'm just gonna paint them, put some string around it, hang that from the rear view mirror. I thought that matched the whole look of this car as well. So, all right, I hope I answered everybody's questions, especially about the wheels, because it's really difficult to, tell you how to pick out the wheels you want. You just gotta play around with it. Can't hurt it. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the likes, the subs, the comments. I love the comments, and I answer every single one of them. If I haven't, call me out, because I know I have. I go through there all the time. I want to make sure everybody's questions are answered, and I'm still working on my Lincoln over here, my hot rod Lincoln. Got the engine pretty much done. Still working on the body on this one and the suicide hood, but I do have the engine pretty much done, other than the transmission. So still working on that one as well. I'm working on 5 projects at once. So I've learned how to do that, and I'm having fun with it. So that's it, guys. Until the next time, y'all have a great one and keep on rolling.